Hello there, everybody. It is me, No Name 107 Spore. Doing my second attempt at the intro because, for whatever reason, on my first attempt, my headset mic or OBS wasn't picking up my headset mic, and I just got a little bit confused there. That was why it took a couple of extra seconds because I'd just done the intro. And yeah, normally I'm getting this right in the first try and having troubleshoot issues. But yeah, we're back with RTW2 2. And currently we're in a situation where it looks like we're about to go to war with America, almost certainly. So what I am beginning to have to do is war preparations. So simply put, hold on. Boop, 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 boop. No, boop. Uh, these ships have got to move to the North American East Coast. As well as these ships in the Mediterranean. And unfortunately, I did just move a ship I didn't want to move over there. These ships are going to have to take over for the ships in the Mediterranean in terms of dissuading the Italians from trying anything. So the Lampus class cruisers are in the Mediterranean. You're going to go to Northern Europe. I will activate the Peak class. I am going to swap them out for Charybdis class cruisers in the Mediterranean. I think all the Charybdis class cruisers will be activated, but right now I'm only going to be sending Fox into North American East Coast, just because, you know, she has radar. So we'll just kind of go down this list and send all these guys to the North American East Coast. Carrier-wise, right now what we have ready is this. That gives us 10 carriers ready to move to the North American East Coast. And in terms of destroyers, this group's in the Mediterranean. It's got to move to the North American East Coast, which means, oh yeah, and these guys are also in the Mediterranean, which they've also got to move to the North American East Coast. Um, I should be trying to remove radar from like these ships. Like the Tartars and Laforet should not be having radar, but um, yeah, I wish you could like transfer radar from one ship to another. Um, Anyway, the Obedience should move over to the North American East Coast. We're just prepping for the war already. The good news, you know, with the war coming. Oh, these are mine layers. Ooh, part of me wants to move them over. I'm gonna move these guys to the East Coast as well. And then hopefully they'll be in position just immediately to counter American sub-spam. And then all of these guys will move over to the North American East Coast. I will be activating the lassos to move into the Mediterranean temporarily. And then those will remain in the reserve fleet. Okay, cool. So, oh yeah, in terms of cruisers, Ariadne should move, King Alfred should move. Um, I'll move the two fair Andromedas over to the North American East Coast. Varshiat's in poor condition. Or in poor crew quality. Okay, so that's what we'll send over for now. Good news is we'll get Inconstant back next turn, so we'll get another battle cruiser out. We'll get Audacious next turn, and we'll get these Hercules done next turn. So we're a good amount in the red right now, and we're actually gonna start putting planes on carriers, so we're gonna get even more into the red. But given how much is exiting here in like 1 to 3 turns, we should be in the black again pretty soon. I'm going to be laying down a medium range sub. And one consideration I have is maybe like trying to lay down a new destroyer every single turn. So we just kind of have a constant output of ships. Alright, air groups wise. In the reserve, okay. We need to figure out where to send air units. So none of these guys have any, yeah, carrier experience. Those are flying boats, torpedo bombers, and medium bombers. We, where do we want to send them? Actually, let me check research. In terms of heavier than air? Wait, no, where do I check airbase size? Maybe Almanac. Here, maybe? Be heavier than air, right? No. Be this? Okay, you know what? Let's try by expanding a base, but I think I'm still limited to airbase size 80. No, I can do 100. Alright, growing those bases now. I'll expand the one in Jamaica. I'll expand the one in Bermuda. Okay, so if the US is gonna try to take something down here, what would I expect it to be? I think Port de Pa. I think, yeah, Port de Pa and Guantanamo Bay air bases would be good to expand. Which would be where they have the airbase at, or the airbase at Panama, which should be expanded. Bermuda, New Providence. Oh, there they go. There they are. Yeah, the ones in Haiti and then the one at Guantanamo Bay, which are all airbase 80s already. So those ones we already began expanding, and okay. So moving these to active, whilst they're expanding. And then we're gonna put air groups on them. We're gonna start putting air groups on them. So we have a flying boat squadron at Portsmouth, and that needs to go somewhere. Okay, we're gonna reserve Scapa Flow. Yeah, I just have a lot of reserve air bases, and I need, yeah, there we go. Halifax, St. John, and St. John's. So you're gonna go over to St. John. You are all going to go over to Airbase Halifax. So yeah, Halifax, we are just gonna, okay, I'm gonna change number. I will go down to 16 fighters. We're gonna add another unit of 16 fighters as well. And then we only get 6 additional planes, so those will be dive bombers. At St. John, I'll get, again, 2 units of 16 fighters. So I can call on them if needed. And then, primarily, you're going to be medium bombers. We'll put some dive bombers there. 10, and then 8 torp bombers. St. John's is just going to get some flying boats. Hamilton also probably needs like a squadron of flying boats, a nice squadron of fighters, and then to dissuade the enemy from trying anything, I'll do a squadron of medium bombers. These areas, Port-de-Paix, Port-au-Prince, and Guantanamo Bay definitely need some air units stationed there, as well as Kingston. But I'm not going to go as gung-ho on these. So flying boats, we're going to do a squadron of 8. I'm not going to go as gung-ho on these right now. Fighters, we'll go 12. And then we'll get a flight of 12 medium bombers, 8 dive bombers, and 8 torp bombers. Actually, I'll get another group of fighters. And that should hopefully give those air bases some good aircraft. Now, we're at a situation with our fleet carriers. So, Gibraltar and Indefatigable each have aircraft on them. And Indefatigable's lineup is that would be, this is an anti-battleship lineup. Having 2 torp bomber squadrons and a dive bomber squadron, that is an anti-battleship lineup. Gibraltar's is an anti-aircraft carrier lineup with heavier amounts of dive bombers and torpedo bombers, and then still half of her capacity put towards fighters. Now, Implacable, Colossus, Argus, and Formidable's squadrons, yeah, these do have extra torpedo bomb. Okay, Formidable is a full anti... This would be an anti-battleship group. This would be mixed. Courageous is mixed. Courageous should be active given that she has almost full aircraft, right? Yeah. So I'm going to copy Courageous's air group onto Glorious. Biter has a full air group right now. Mostly fighters with some torp bombers. I'll keep Andromeda in reserve. Yeah, since Biter's air group's full, I will activate her. So I'll copy Courageous's air group onto Hermes. But we will cut down the number of dive and torpedo bombers. So Hermes now only has yeah, Hermes has her lineup now. So we'll go in a little fighter heavy there. So all these guys have extra torpedo bomber squadrons, and I'm not sure I need that, especially with how many carriers the US has. So that's an anti-carrier. So we have one anti-carrier, that's an anti-battleship. These are mixed in the middle. These 3 are in the middle. So, I think Colossus we will design as an anti-battleship group. So you'll get a set of 12, we'll do 14 dive bombers. And then let's do a group of 16 fighters. And then another group of fighters. So then it's that fighter and that, yeah, okay, that fighter group has less. You know what, I'm going to reduce the number of torpedo bombers in one of these squadrons to 14 to get this fighter up to 16. So this would still be an anti-battleship group. Yeah, Formidables is an anti-battleship as well, so that means Argus and Implacable are going to be anti-carrier. Um, because of that, this means that they are going to each donate a squadron to one of the Unicorn class. So one of those squadrons will go to Unicorn, one of those will go to Pegasus, and Centaur will probably just have a full new unit. Actually, Eagle exists. Yeah, they could donate squadrons to Eagle. Yeah, they're gonna donate a squadron to Eagle, but I think Eagle's going to be an anti-carrier carrier. So yeah, we'll have one squadron go to Unicorn, one to Eagle. Okay, so yeah, Colossus is full. Placable and Argus are gonna have the same squadrons. Experience is still good on Argus's squadron. That's nice. Okay, so we'll go with 3 groups of 16 fighters. Then we will add a group of 16 dive bombers and then 12 dive bombers. Alright, so we'll do that here. 16 fighters. 16 fighters. 16 fighters, and then dive bombers, 16, and dive bomber 12. Okay, cool. Placable squadrons are done. Eagle. So you have significantly less planes, but yeah, we'll equip you as a anti-carrier ship, but we're only gonna do squadrons of 12 dive bombers. And then fighter-wise, okay, so you have 41 for 3 squadrons. 41 does not divide evenly. 42 does. So 42, that would divide by 2 into 21. That's probably not what we want. So if we divide it by 3, actually, hold on. 42, it is 6 times something. 6 times 7. So I think if we do squadrons of 14 fighters, it'll be fine. Okay, yeah. 14 fighters in the final 13th fighter. Okay. There we go. Eagle is loaded up. So now we will create Unicorn Squadron. I think Unicorn will be more counter battle. Yeah, Unicorn will be more counter battleship. Um, open design for rebuild. I want to check her spotting. Her air capacity is, her spot value is 32. Part of me just wants to do like 2 groups of torpedo bombers on her for the anti-battleship work. Yeah, and then no, I'm gonna change this number to 12 and then change the fighter's number to 16. Okay, so we're gonna copy that air group to Pegasus, but uh, we're gonna change the role of this torpedo bomber to a dive bomber on Pegasus, and then we're gonna copy Unicorn's air group again over to Centaur, and this time we're actually gonna change the role of the one with the top torpedo bomber into a dive bombing group. So this will be biased more heavily towards the dive bombers than the torp bombers. Actually, I'm going to change the number of dive bombers to 20. I'm going to change the number of torp bombers to 8 and the dive bombers to 20 on Centaur. Pegasus, I guess Pegasus will be battleship. Yeah, Unicorn is extremely battleship heavy. Pegasus is somewhat battleship or anti-battleship heavy, and yeah. Andromeda, having so few aircraft, is not actually going to have any strike aircraft. She is just going to carry fighters. So then Estrella and Africa. These are more likely to be carriers I send to other regions, but I still think, or reserve carriers. Um, but I still think it's gonna be good to give them like proper loadouts, and they can have loadouts kind of similar to this. So I think one of them is going to get Pegasus's loadout, and we'll remove a plane, and then the other one will get Centaur's loadout, and we will remove a Torp bomber from Estrella and a dive bomber from Africa. All right, that is the carrier force all sorted. Our monthly balance is, oh god, it's way more in the red. But I think that is our war preparations done with. Bases are building up. We have more squadrons being worked on. Got some ships kind of close to completion. I'm going to reduce the research budget to 8% to save a little bit more money. And yeah, we'll probably go to war with America soon. Audacious, um, we'll probably borrow a loadout from the Indefatigable, since they're very similar carriers. Yeah, we'll have some, we'll be getting some stuff out soon, and hopefully, the budget's still going to be fairly bad, but it should still be manageable for a little bit. So I think that does it for this episode. We will see what next episode brings in terms of potentially going to war. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been me, NoName107 Spore, and I will see you next time. Links to my Discord, Twitch, and Twitter are down below if you're interested in any of those things. Alright, bye!